Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here. So, The Sims 4 has released another laundry list and also this strange little video about, well, it's difficult for them to fix the game when there's so many years of content. Wow, I wonder whose fault is that? I don't know. Are we supposed to feel bad for them? I don't know how that video is supposed to make me feel, but that was a thing they put up. In addition to that, they also put out a video teaser of this laundry list. It's just so funny to see them market bug fixes this much. I wonder how this would have been received if they had done this same thing 10 years ago. Obviously, this is damage control, but really that's what they've been doing for the entirety of The Sims 4 for something, whether it's them leaving things like pools and toddlers out of the launch version to now with many poorly received updates and packs and the EA buyout that is in the process of happening. But without further ado, let's get into this laundry list. So this is for a game update that is releasing on December 2nd. They have already shared the tdesk file ahead of this update to help out modders, and there's information on moving from Adobe Flash to Adobe Animate for UI modders. So I'm not a modder myself, but I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing overall. They also mentioned that they are thinking of changing the term laundry list to something else voted on by the community, since the laundry list is about the things that we've been reporting the most. So there is a section on their official Discord about it. I don't think they need to change the term laundry list. Maybe it's not the most clear term possible, but I think changing it now after all this time would just make it even more confusing. I did see someone mention that, oh, maybe just keep the term laundry list, but add something like bugs that are in line to be scrubbed. And I think that makes way more sense. So you're still keeping the familiar term, but adding more clarity. The next thing that's talked about is that they are looking into more top community reported concerns, but many of those are trickier to fix as they are deeply connected to other game systems and take more time to safely solve. So we might see fewer fixes, but each one will have a bigger impact on the game overall. They're also working on issues related to careers, and towards the end of the laundry list, they preview some fixes that they're working on for early 2026. So here's the top 5 most voted fixes that are going to be resolved in the December 2nd update. Child, teen, young adults, and elder Sims will once again no longer have clothing visible under the sensor blur. However, the cause of the issue is different for other ages, and they're still investigating those instances to hopefully fix in another update. But yeah, this has been a problem for a long time, but I noticed it got a lot more frequent when the update just before Life and Death release. So yeah, that's been a pretty annoying one. It's almost like as if every Sim suddenly had the never nude trait from The Sims 3. But then Sims are now able to travel between worlds/lots without the season screen popping up. Okay, I haven't run into that one. Male gallery Sims will no longer have high-pitched voices. Their correct voice tone will be used. This fix is not retroactive and will only affect future saves going forward. This is with Lovestruck, and they have fixed an instance of save corruption that was resulting in error code 123. In this save, a Sim was dead, a ghost, and minimum level of detail not actively engaged with by the player, which was causing some code around small business careers to crash the game on load. It made it so that if a Sim is referenced in this situation, the game will not crash when trying to load with businesses and hobbies, and made progress on children being taken away despite not being neglected. More investigation is required before that one can be marked as fully resolved. Then for base game, the Nature Soundscapes radio station will no longer wake up Sims when they listen to it while sleeping. Yeah, that bug basically ruined the whole point of that radio station, so good to see that one being fixed. Teens will retain their active aspiration so long as it is not a teen-specific aspiration when they age up into a young adult. We rebalanced the mental fog moodlet to appear after 3 to 4 days of running the work hard career tone. It used to appear after only 1 to 2 days. To summarize this next one here, the armed living chair had a duplicate color swatch. They want to fix that. One thing led to another, and now they have a bunch of new free swatches across objects to match with each other. In total, there are 27 new free swatches, which is 9 objects with 3 new variants each. So the objects getting these new swatches are the armed living chair, Deep Delights living chair, Cuttlefish love seat, Cuttlefish sofa, armed dining chair, Captain Rodrigo de Pablo dining chair, armless dining chair, cephalopod bar stool with back support, and cephalopod bar stool. And the main menu will no longer show W's when there isn't an active household to display on the main menu. Yep, I have seen that one before. Sims will once again change into their outfits in front of toddler Sims, so they won't be nude around them anymore. We fixed an issue where moodlets and quirk notifications could occur for a young adult Sim. Fixed some texture issues with the Industry Matters brick facade with wood trim wallpaper when applied to wall corners for 2 of the wallpaper's variants. Sims without Horse Ranch were somehow able to get a fear of horses, but this will no longer happen. Good and evil Sims will no longer mourn excessively at gravestones. With Adventure Awaits, pre-made custom venues now will have the proper schedules and gameplay when you visit them. It was only working on their internal builds due to some code that needed to be changed. I was so confused about that. I thought the whole point of the pre-made custom venues was so that there were schedules you could look at and use that as an example. So that is good though. I'm confused. I think that would maybe only apply to new saves. I don't know. They don't mention anything about that, so maybe it does retroactively fix that. And then for child female pull over layered is now tagged as a masculine style choice option too. All Adventure Awaits toddler and child hairstyles are now visible if you remove the masculine/feminine style choice filters. The Grand's flannel curtain rods were using a different shader than the curtain set, but they've updated them to use the same shader, thank goodness. It was done on purpose since curtains and solid objects use different shaders, but in this case it caused a difference in some lighting scenarios, which made the objects look like they have different colors. There is also a fleece curve top that was missing fashion choice tags, so they have been added. With the autumn apparel kit, fingernails will no longer clip through the gloves that come with it. For businesses and hobbies, the Stucco's top stucco wallpaper now extends fully to the floor when applied. They've added a missing purple variant color swatch to 8 doors and windows. Lang's door, double arch Nordhaven style door, single Nordhaven style door, arch Nordhaven style window, Nordhaven style portal window, Nordhaven style cottage window, Nordhaven style window, and Nordhaven style glass block window. So lots of purple for Nordhaven, but cats and dogs. Fixed the situation where it looked like you couldn't have more than 7 Sims in a household. This was because the household had an empty Sim slot reserved for an adopt a cat story arc that the player couldn't know was happening in the background. This story arc will now just wait until there is an available household slot and not prevent the addition of new members to the household in the meantime. We added timing restrictions on how often a pet can explore the poo-hoo bush. Isn't that the term that James Turner came up with for that? To every 3 days. Doing this causes them to get sick and was previously happening too frequently. Yep, ever since that pack came out, my dogs would explore those bushes way too often. And then Sims will no longer receive a text from their pet about missing curfew. Moving on to city living, Sims in the social media career will now automatically meet their coworkers so that they can perform certain work from home tasks. This fix will only occur on fresh saves. Oh, that's unfortunate. And then cottage living, they added a shadow to the cottage living pack icon. Yay, I guess. But for rent, lines will no longer appear on Sims's arms while wearing a particular top with a stacked pocket if nails are also equipped. Get Famous, the Attend Drama Club interaction is now available as a self-interaction and on other household members when a teen is at max level in Drama Club and is left for a rehearsal. This interaction will remain for 90 in-game seconds afterwards to allow the player time to select it. Greenhouse Haven. The air cycler fan will no longer disappear when viewed from a different floor than the floor the player is currently on. High school years, the corn dog will no longer appear invisible, and also fixes a related issue where it did not appear in preview UI images. Life and death, house parties, and spooky parties have been added as viable options. For the bucket list goal, I want to throw the most bizarre costume party of all time. Ghost Sims will no longer appear as a regular living sim while in the Reaper career attempting to collect souls. The mentor-coworker interaction is available on a coworker while they are performing practice reaping on the training dummy. The ingest ambrosia interaction is now available to Ghost Sims when ambrosia was made by Sims from another household. This was preventing Sims who were in the Reaper career from eating ambrosia. My wedding stories, there's actually one fix here. An issue where the exchange vows interaction could become grayed out on the wedding arch even though the necessary Sims were present for the ceremony. Paranormal stuff, the terrified and scared emotions are now available in Sim stats. Wow, I don't think they've touched Sim stats since vampires, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if most people don't even know that exists. So that's good to see that those emotions that were added years later are finally represented there. For Realm of Magic, all variant textures display the logo of the bottle properly on the classic apothecary cabinet. Seasons, children and teens can now donate on the computer when in the Scouts after school program. Vampires, non-vampire Sims will no longer autonomously eat plasma fruit salad. Multiple packs, fixed an instance of save corruption that was resulting in error code 109. There was a clone sim in this save that has a household with a status of none in our code. Fixed it so if a household is in this state, it will no longer crash the game upon trying to load businesses and hobbies and get to work. Fix an issue where sand sculptures were auto-generating on beaches when it rained a lot. This is still occurring if the weather machine is used by the player, but we have a fixed plan for that instance in an upcoming patch, Island Living and Seasons. Made a change that allows gates with lanterns to have the lanterns light up the area around them. Should now work for the following gates: Spanish Inquisition, Wouldn't You Like to Know, Maiden's Gate, Barn Door Double, and Cozy Craftsman Gate. Sims who dislike mischief or singing will no longer autonomously do mischievous behaviors or sing. With the police station, Foxbury Commons, and other work computers, they're now fixable after they've been broken. The Tamarani introduction from For Rent will now fulfill the greet coworker task in the doctor career from Get to Work, and fixed an issue with temporary stays where certain Sims could not be invited to stay over from a residential rental lot. So that's it for the base game update for December 2nd, but they also talk about some fixes that they're actively working on for the January base game update. They confirmed that the makeup category for toddlers is currently working live, but it requires custom content to appear. Still looking into reports that it stopped working after the businesses and hobbies release, and that there may have been non-custom content assets before, so they would appreciate any screenshots or clues that can be shared to help them figure it out. They've been able to load missing lots in a couple of saves using the memory boost feature, so they are still in the process of testing this against different hardware scenarios, and mention again that missing lot data survey if you are affected. And the server error when uploading to the gallery or library is the top community issue, and actively working on a fix, though it's proven tricky. They've identified the main cause of Sims standing around instead of caring for infants and toddlers, and plan to provide an update soon. Memorial portraits and graduation photos no longer display a Sim's image and appear blank. That's another top community issue that they've made progress on and targeting for a future update. Sims attending a work/school rabbit hole not remaining in the rabbit hole when loading a save, where the Sims were employees of an open small business, is another top issue. Sims using objects obsessively is another issue that they're tackling. It's a rather complicated issue, to solve that might take some time, but they have some creative solutions that they're discussing. They also mentioned that there's at least 6 other issues in their top 10 community issues that they want to at least get started investigating. So, yep, that is it. So, a longer laundry list than most of the ones we got, though of course not as long as the one for the November update. But yeah, there are some annoying issues that are being fixed, which is good. But I wish they had taken this much action years ago instead of waiting until things had gotten this bad and then a buyout also happening that could make an already bad situation even worse. So I hope that this update will at least make the game more stable, but man, it just really sucks being a simmer right now.